get this party. Let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another gathering of the League of Sedentary Gentlemen. I am your host Brian. Joining me tonight, cousin Jade and the dude, Christian,
yeah.
back in studio. Southern California car culture royalty in my back room.
What's
Gentlemen,
up?
How's it going?
All right, how you doing?
Podcast back in full swing after taking a pretty long hiatus.
Yeah, when was the last time we were in-house?
All in-house?
Summer?
Summertime. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And I don't really have a topic list going on, but I wanted to talk about cancel culture, and myself and Christian are both going through that.
Yeah.
Christian more so than me.
Yeah. Fucking Instagram.
Yeah, so you want to talk about your Instagram woes? Let's get us started with that.
All right. Well, as of 2 days ago, Stilo1971, my Instagram handle was canceled. No warning, no nothing. And I guess it was because I was posting some stuff that had Jesus holding a machine gun.
Not
and
porn for once ever.
Another one was
Here.
Jesus with some boxing gloves. And
Religious
1, 2,
defamation
3,
of character.
strike, I'm out. They canceled me. No warning, no slap on the hand. Instagram account is closed, gone. So yeah, big surprise after had that account since 2014. So yeah,
That's some bullshit, dude. Yep. That's some bullshit. And the worst part, so you were telling us a story at lunch, and the worst part about it is your account's set to private. And so clearly it was somebody that you know.
Yeah.
Who you were friends with.
Exactly, because I mean, anybody that's been added to my account has to know me some way, somehow, through my artwork, through the cars,
Yeah.
through the music. I just don't add anybody, and stuff to my account and stuff, and that the account was purposely set private, for that, so it just wouldn't be a bunch of whack jobs trying to get in my Instagram and stuff, and wasting my time, kind of thing, and stuff. Yeah, they're definitely everybody that was in my account was somebody I genuinely could probably call up and stuff, and there was definitely a reason for them to be in my account and stuff. So yeah, so I don't know, either I rubbed somebody the wrong way on the religious issue and they reported me, or who knows, man, at this point.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
That's what bothered me the most. So if it was like an outside source,
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. Like, because I post a lot of bullshit too. I've how does cousin Jay like to word it?
We've chosen a secular lifestyle.
Thank you. That's how I like to. That's how I like to word it, so I don't offend people.
Mm-hmm.
I've chosen a secular lifestyle. So
Yeah.
one of my favorite recreation things to do is to make fun of organized religion, because I think it's all fucking hilarious to me. And so I post a lot of bullshit. I told you at lunch, my favorite thing to post is the Ghostbusters with Jesus coming out of the tomb.
Yeah.
And they've got him trapped in the beam.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to post, but nobody has ever reported me. But I also have my shit set to private. People know what they're signing up for when they become my
absolutely.
friend.
That's what I always thought. I mean, everybody's always been like, my drawings are always like big boob girls, like
Pushing that envelope.
it's like, I mean, it's what I grew up on. I didn't grow up on looking at flat-chested Snap-on tool calendars and stuff.
Right.
They were always like, well-endowed chicks. And now you can't even say chicks because they get offended by chicks. It's
Fine women too.
you don't, the word chick is, girls get offended by it now. You're just like,
derogatory.
what is going on here? Like, well, what do you want me to call you?
Yeah.
It's like,
there's a generational divide.
they say partner. Partner. It's like, okay,
Hey, bitch.
partner. It's
There's a generational divide. I feel like anybody that's younger than like 35, 37 now will get offended by that 100%.
yeah.
And we're raising a bunch of softies now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like you have to think twice before what you post, when in the past it was shits and giggles, right? That's what Instagram was. It
serious.
was something social media. It wasn't
it was social.
like, okay, I'm on Instagram to find my wife. I'm on Instagram to find my best friend. It's like, dude, it's just you post some random stuff. You crack up, somebody digs it, somebody doesn't. No big deal. Your life doesn't end because you didn't get 50 likes or whatever.
And there used to be a dislike button that people dealt with. The thumb down. Remember that?
They even did away with that on YouTube.
I remember that. I noticed it's blocked on YouTube. That's right. You only see the amount liked.
You can't see
you see the thumb down and it's blank.
Yeah.
You don't see the amount. They keep it blinded.
And what I think is hilarious is like you can still dislike a video, but only the creator can see it.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to.
So that creator goes out and commits suicide. Now they're gonna gonna sue YouTube and some way somehow get you in the mix on that.
Just a quick tidbit off of that. If your ego is that fragile, don't do YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's so many trolls out there.
Yeah.
There's so many trolls out there.
Yeah, there's no way you could be a musician or an artist or a creative person if you cannot take criticism,
feedback or criticism.
And it's a trip that people like at 25 years old. Oh, I took a photo, and I'm a professional photographer. All of a sudden, because you shot 5 or 6 weddings in a quinceanera. No, you're not a professional photographer, man. Sorry, it's like, dude, there's still a tree growing out of that person's shoulder.
Yeah,
it's like 101. And if you say something, then all of a sudden, oh, well, you're a dick.
Get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, they're offended by it. And it's just like, well, dude, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I take photographs for a living, public relations, and I'm just simply pointing out something. And if you suggest to them like, hey, well, that's a cool shot. It's really sharp. It looks good. But, you see that. What do you think? What's coming out of the shoulder? Does that look normal? Like, or you took a picture and the person's hiding their hands. So it just looks like a handless body.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, other than that, it's a great shot. I didn't say it was, I didn't say it. I'm not saying it's a great shot. It's a sharp photograph, but just basic 101 photography. You would want to see the person's hands. It just looks like a handless body,
When somebody tells you like it's a good looking shot, that's people's failure to separate the skill with the eye from the technology they're using. Yep. Anybody can take iPhones, most Android phones nowadays, the cameras that they come with are fucking excellent.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I agree with that.
They can compensate for a lot of things, but you still have to have that eye.
You got to have the eye. Yeah. The eye has to be developed. I mean, composition is 110%. If you can't do that and you're relying on some type of software to edit the, post-production, to make a decent photo into a great photo, dude, you're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
And if you say that, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Christian, hey, it's like, they got 500 likes on that picture. How could you? And I'm like,
that's because there's 500 people like them.
It's a fucking like, dude.
Yeah. It's
is
just
that
a
like? Is that like paying your bills?
No.
It's like, yeah. So I just sit there and like, great photo, man. Yeah. Awesome. You are on your way. Yeah.
Like I can take a portrait right now of like the mixer set up and everything in the background will be blurry AF, and I'll post that on Instagram and I'll get a couple likes on it. Cool. It's just, but I'm not going to try to sell that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different. People can't separate that out.
Yeah.
And your 60 credit hours at Cypress College for photography are not going to.
Exactly.
You got to have, you have it or you don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's so many people that rely on post-production editing. They're relying on software to blur the background instead of learning what f-stop gives me that. Right out of the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I could fix that on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. So again, I don't know. I stopped doing photo critiquing, I guess, and advice a long time ago. But for whatever reason, somebody was still in my mix on my Instagram and, was having a bad day or something. I don't know. I really don't know too many people that are that religious that were in my Instagram account. But people change. So it is what it is,
People change.
Well, Easter is upon us, and I'm a very heavy fan of the Lord. So some of us don't agree with your political and religious views, Mr. Christian. Wonder who it could have been.
I think so,
I'm gonna impress my chick that I just started dating. That's big Catholic, or my boyfriend that's a big Catholic, or so. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show him I can fucking get Christian. What?
Honestly, here's what I think, dude. Here's what I think. So, and I apologize to any listeners that are believers.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, like, that's cool. Believe in what you believe in. Absolutely. I don't disrespect nobody.
Yeah.
The posts I did do were on a total funny level.
Yeah.
Nothing depicting.
People can't laugh anymore.
Yeah,
just it's funny. Dude.
Yeah, nothing of Jesus hurting himself or anything of violence or anything. It was just
Yeah.
It was just shits and giggles, man.
Now I know what I'm going to do.
You know?
I am going to screenshot the Christian Death album cover with Jesus with the crown of thorns on his head, mainlining heroin.
Yeah, see, I mean, like, that's heavy duty right there. If you to put
Easter
that could be
Sunday.
like, whoa, okay, man.
I'm going to put that on Easter Sunday on my stories, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Tune in, people. The Choke Her.
You could be like, okay, I could see something like that being like, whoa, man, like common sense.
I saw that T-shirt back in the 90s on
I remember
Goth
that.
Chicks.
Totally remember
that's
that.
Pretty... Wow.
Yeah,
and that was the 90s. I was a little kind of shook.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool, but wow.
That's like something like
that's an album cover of that Gothic band?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think like Vinyl Fetish would carry something like that, on Melrose.
Yeah, it was
kind of like, oh man, amongst like some of the
Jeanette Lopez
really
wore the T-shirt. Remember her?
Yeah, I remember Jeanette.
I'm like, what the fuck? Really? Christian Death?
Yeah.
Really? He's like,
Yeah. What was it? Roz Williams, right?
Williams.
Yeah.
It was his one.
Yeah,
the
he
LA
committed
Christian
suicide.
Death.
But just see, that's heavy duty, and this stuff I was posting was totally not that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just funny. Funny. That's it.
I think it is that they know. So every year, more churches close, right? I think that they know they like Christians in particular. They understand that their religion is falling out of favor, and they're get less and less,
losing
every
money.
year. Yeah, and they're losing money. And so I think the ones that are still like staunch believers are on the warpath and kind of like, I don't know, dude. Like, let's bring back the Dark Ages kind of thing. Like, they're on the warpath. They're trying to just do
a
away
control
with,
thing, man.
Yeah, it's a control
It's
thing.
a control thing.
And well, I mean, I believe the Bible is just an instrument for control anyway. So when you say it's a control thing, absolutely 100%. But yeah, so that's why I think like people are just getting extra sensitive to it. And
it's crazy because I'm 51. I grew up watching Sanford and Son. I grew up watching Chico and the Man. Yeah. And if you were to watch that stuff now, you'd be like, whoa, they couldn't do that stuff on modern, like, you don't
even have to go that far back,
on
dude.
TV. You're just like, that's just the 70s. And they were saying stuff that, like Archie Bunker was saying stuff. And you're just like, dude, that's crazy. That stuff was allowed. But I grew up during that time.
Yeah.
We made fun of when somebody would say something and say, yeah, your mom. It wasn't the end of the world. It was just like, oh, he just said, yeah, your mom. It was a burn. That's all it was. Yeah. And now if you were to do that, it'd be like, oh, damn, I don't know what some feminist group's going to be. You're going to get canceled?
Yeah. How could
he
you
said
say
your
such
mom.
a thing?
He says chick still.
Yeah. What about my mother?
Okay, yeah, I say that's that's a fine chick. That chick's hot. Yeah. Oh, you can't say chick no more. It's like, what?
Nah.
Like, well, what do you want to be called?
Yeah.
And his partner.
Think about shows like Seinfeld. Like if they try to do Seinfeld today, forget about it.
Yeah.
There's so much like
the shows we watched in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sanford and Son, Chico and the Man.
When you showed me that day when he said it straight up.
Just like,
whoa.
Yeah.
That's how it was back then. We didn't even know. We were oblivious to
you
that.
would watch like NYPD Blue and all those kind of shows and everything. You're just, those cop shows were just like, whoa, they would straight up say stuff where you're just like, oh man, this would so get you busted.
Yeah,
now
you can't do that now.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate reality.
That it's like never going to go back to that.
No.
And everybody says, oh, well, it's better. It's better. We're in a better place now. And it's just like,
it's not
really? I mean,
true.
dude, everybody is just.
Everybody's so uptight.
Yeah, it's just right away. It's like, oh, you hurt my feelings, bam, and stuff, as opposed to just being like blowing it off. Like what's gonna like, what is the next generation? What's been created at this point?
I'm hoping I'm gonna be pretty like I'm a little bit conservative around my kids right now because they're still young.
Yeah.
But I open up a little bit the older that they get, and as they get older, I will open up more and be more myself as an adult around them so that they understand it. Because I don't want to raise three little pussies. Like I want them to be thick-skinned and.
Yeah, dude, prepared for life.
Yeah, prepared for life. Know the difference between a burn and an insult, right? Like
it's the outside world
is harsh.
Is straight up, man.
Yeah, it will fuck you up.
There's millions and millions of people walking the streets every day that will mow you down.
Yeah.
Who just like, oh, you're weak. I'm gonna crush you.
Yeah.
No feet
and won't think twice about hurting you.
Right.
Whether that's physically, mentally, spiritually. So if you're sheltering somebody on that level so much, dude, you die in the next 5 years, dude, you've done a disservice to your kids.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be just in culture shock and they're going to be ruined. they're not even gonna have a fair chance. You got at survival.
Yeah, you got to prepare them for it, and so I'm hopeful that I can do my best to do that. Do you like Ricky Gervais, the English comedian?
Oh yeah. I know who he is. I'm not too familiar with this stuff.
There's a saying that he has that I love. It's one of my life mottos. It's like, you're offended by this, but I think it's funny, and that's why I'm happier than you. And I fucking love that. Too. Yeah, I love that saying, dude.
Like, get over it, move on.
Yeah, get over it and move on. Yeah. Like, somebody said that, you got offended. I fucking laughed my ass off. That's why I'm happy and you're miserable, asshole. Like, just lighten up. Like, everybody needs to just lighten up a little bit. Like, everybody takes shit too serious.
Yeah. That's again. So yeah, that's Instagram's gone, but Chola's Rock still exists. So like, okay, I have that.
Yeah.
And then the latest one I just created, which is the Stilo
Reactive. Your retro. Your
retro
account.
The Stilo 71 SGV is just going to have my artwork on there at this point and stuff, because it's like, all right,
just use that. And that's like, I used to post a lot on Facebook and Instagram, but now I use it more as a promotional tool. That's all you need to use it for, really. Using it as a personal thing to connect with people. Like, I have some family, older family, that's how I communicate with them.
Yeah.
Because for some reason they grabbed a hold of that and that's what they use. But for the most part, now it's just promotion. Like, for my YouTube channel, for the podcast, I post funny things, and that's what I use it for now. And so promote your artwork with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally it, because I guess doing anything else is now it's somebody got butt hurt.
Yeah. And
just like, all right.
Speaking of like butt hurt and being canceled, and I touched on this a little bit on the last episode, but Nike and YouTube, man. So those of you who watch my YouTube channel, you know that I kind of joined the niche market of replica sneakers, and the fight against scalpers really is what I call it. And that is the replica market has become so good, they're basically 1-to-1 now. They all come from the same factories. They all have the same materials. I dare you, I beg you to show me the difference between a rep sneaker and a retail sneaker. They're the same. They're
this one's made in China, and this one's made in China.
Yeah, and they're one,
One was authorized.
Tell me which one's more Chinese.
Yeah, all the materials come from the same place.
I'm just kidding. Don't get butthurt.
Yeah, exactly. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. It all comes from the same place, right? And the difference is, like, there's a Jordan that I want to buy, and when it came out, it was super hyped. So all the scalpers bought it, and they listed it on StockX, and it's $800 now for a $200 sneaker. I don't want to pay that. I can't pay that. If I paid that, my wife would divorce me. So I'm going to go to the rep market, and I'm going to pay $100 for that same sneaker that's going to be exactly the same as it was from retail. Fight me in the comments. It's the same.
Yeah.
And
still rubber on your feet.
Yeah.
Touching the ground, getting dirty.
Because I that's the other thing is I don't have any shelf queens. I like to display my sneakers, but if you look at them closely, you can tell they've all been worn.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I wear them. I have a rotation. I rotate them out in my closet. I wear every single pair of shoes I have. There's no shelf queens in here. And so I'm not a collector. I'm not going to pay $800 for a shoe that I'm going to put behind plastic on a shelf and keep for a couple months and then resell it. That's not me.
Yep.
I want it so I can wear it. And so I'm going to buy reps. And I wanted to spread this word. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to do YouTube. And so it worked out well for a while. I knew I was playing with fire. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when Nike becomes aware of you and they report you to YouTube and you get a strike. And that's what happened to me. They, reported me. I have an active community strike. I made all the rep videos that I had private so I wouldn't get a second strike, because 3 strikes and you're out. They'll cancel your channel. And so I panicked. I was on vacation when this happened, by the way. And so I had no idea that I got a warning. They did give me a warning. I'll give them that much. And then soon after the warning, I got a strike because I didn't do anything about it, because I didn't know about it. I was on vacation. And I was checking my email one day, and I just like, what the fuck? And I logged into YouTube. I'm like, oh, my God. And so I went through and I put everything to private for the rep videos, right? Because I didn't want a second strike. And I appealed to YouTube because if you read their policy, they do have a policy for replica products. But in that policy, for a violation, you have to promote the seller, like where you got the product, and promote how to buy it, which I do neither of those things. I like to make people aware that these products exist, and I send them to my Instagram for further information. You want info on how to get these products? Message me on Instagram, private message.
Yeah, because it's not like you're ratting that person out if they get busted.
Exactly. And I will give you that info. I don't put it out in my videos. And so when they gave me the strike, I appealed it. And I'm like, hey, man, I didn't promote the seller. I didn't tell people how to buy this.
Yeah.
Why did I get a strike? And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We got a complaint, this and that, whatever. And they're like, and they upheld it. And so now I have to deal with this until March or April, I think, is when the strike no longer becomes active.
Wow. And what does that mean, though? Does it stop your account?
For me,
put new content up? Or
I can still put new content up.
It's like a warning.
No, it's so for me in particular, because I have just under 1,000 subscribers, so I'm not monetized yet. You have to hit the 1,000 to be monetized. I get about 20 to 28 subscribers a month, my average. So I'm close to hitting monetization. If perchance I were to hit that mark while I had a strike, I couldn't monetize. I'd have to wait for the strike to become inactive, and it's active for 6 months. So for somebody like me, it hurts a little more than a bigger channel because it's kind of like a slap on the hand. Like, you got a strike, oh, my bad, and then you take that video down. You might lose revenue from that video that caused the strike if you already are monetized. But for someone like me, who's still trying to get to monetization.
So it's like a minor cancel.
Yeah. It's a minor cancel. It's a bitch. We see what you're doing. Like,
that's a new t-shirt. I've been minor
canceled. Yeah, it's more like it's more like a heads up. Yeah. Like YouTube like smacking me and saying like, hey, we see you. Stop doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, but what I'm mostly pissed off about is I had a nice little thing going here with, I had a couple of replica makers who were sending me stuff for free.
Oh, wow.
So I had no overhead. Like,
just so you do a review on their product?
Yeah.
Oh, killer.
And so they would send me the sneakers. I would do the review, post a few pictures on Instagram. They were happy. I was happy. I got a free pair of shoes. I got no overhead to make these videos. And now all of a sudden, like, hard stop. Like, I got two right there.
Yeah, because they know you're being watched, and all of a sudden somebody's going to come knocking on their door.
I had to do the fucking song and dance, like, whoop, 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 like, I have two right there.
It's like, I got 500 Mei Lings working in my warehouse, and you're going to get me busted. You're going to get me raided.
Yeah. I had to go back to those two sellers and tell them, like, hey, man, I got a strike. I can't review your shit. And they've just been sitting there for the last 4 months.
So
like, I can't.
For you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you want them back? And thankfully, they didn't ask for them back.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to deal with shipping it. But I felt bad, because I asked for them. Yeah. And they sent them to me.
Where were they from?
They all come from China.
Okay, so they were.
Take a picture of them. Just post a picture of them.
I thought about doing that.
Yeah.
And I thought about
because one of them killer. They fit great. Cool.
One of them is a replica pair of Kobe's, and dude, I have a video. Well, I had, it's private now, but I had a video up of a replica Kobe that has 30,000 views. Wow. It's one of my best videos. People love that shit because Kobe's are so hot. Wow. And they're impossible to get. And so when you have a good source for reps, people fucking eat that shit up. Yeah. And so I was kind of holding off.
You're all reps, bootlegs.
Yeah. Reps, bootlegs, fakes, however you
call them. Bootlegs.
And they're really good. They're really good bootlegs, dude.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like
a bootleg
holding off.
Imitation.
An imitation. No. What's the word? There's a word I like. Homage.
Generic.
Homage.
I like to say homage.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
an homage
That's more respectful.
of the original. Yeah, respectful way to put it.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like holding off for that strike to become inactive, and then I'm just gonna do a video on them and say, "Fuck it, catch me if you can, motherfucker."
Yeah. Start it all over again.
And it could have been like somebody who's working like overtime at a different factory, the bootleg factory that works at the Nike factory.
They do that,
picking up a few extra hours, in China.
They do that. So what happens? So I'll explain the process. I've done this on a video once, but never on the podcast. I'll explain the process. So a company like Nike, when they want to put out a shoe, they'll send out samples to like 8 or 9 different factories in China, right? And they'll go out to bid. They're like, this is the shoe we want to make. These are the materials. How much?
Yeah.
And they get these prices back, and Nike picks the best price. And whatever factory wins, they win.
They get the contract. Yeah.
What they don't realize, see, what China, well, I know Nike is aware of it, right? So I don't want to say they don't realize. What they look past, I guess, China is very good at reverse engineering things. Extremely good at it. So all these samples are there already. So these factories that didn't win the bid, they reverse engineer the shoe. A textile is a textile. The companies that Nike uses for their suede, for their outsoles, their leathers,
the rubber,
it all comes from the same manufacturers. These textile companies, they don't care who they're selling to.
Yeah, it's raw material.
Yeah, it's just raw material. So these factories that didn't win the bid, they can get the material too that Nike's getting. So they get the same materials. They reverse engineer the shoe. They make the shoe, and they sell it off for a fraction of what Nike's selling it for, but they're still making a profit.
Yeah,
they're still profitable, and so that's the game. And the
I mean, that's in a lot of things, from car parts to
exactly.
Geez, there's knockoff Harley parts and stuff. I mean, to Levi's. So you could be like, if you were somebody who was so into Levi's, be like, oh, those aren't genuine Levi's.
Yeah.
Those are made in Malaysia or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, at the end of the day, if they're being sold at some swap meet in South Central, people don't give a fuck.
No, they don't care.
Hey, dude, I'm not dropping $200 for Levi's when I got some cat down here selling them for $35.
Exactly.
I'm buying them.
Exactly.
I got 3 kids, whatever.
And for people scoffing at reverse engineering, China reverse engineered a fucking plane, a jumbo jet, right? They basically stole a jumbo jet from Boeing by reverse engineering it and making their own. But it's exactly identical to the Boeing plane.
Yeah.
Lawsuits be damned. China doesn't give a shit. Their government's like, American lawsuit, fuck you. They don't care. Mm-hmm. And so think about that for a moment.
These industries know this, though. Yeah. They know this. They already know that's
it's a thing.
When it's in China or Malaysia or Vietnam or something, they know that's the risk. Especially if it's like, oh, the company's based out of Oregon or based out of here in LA and stuff, but yet they're getting it made somewhere super cheap for cheap labor and stuff. They know that's the risk that it takes and stuff. If they wanted to be a 110% American company, they're not going to make the kind of money that they make.
Right.
The profits aren't there and stuff,
Right.
So don't tell me like, oh yeah, this product it's the best because it's made here. At the end of the day, dude, if they could make it somewhere else and cheaper, and they would be able to do that hustle on people and convince people it's still the same, they would, because it's the money. At the end of the day, it's the bread.
It's all money.
It's all bread, you're just lucky that some companies stick to their guns, like Red Wing boots and stuff like that, and Thorogood boots. Those stuff is still made here in USA, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for it. Like, I wear those type of boots, and it's nothing to, like, when they say 380, 400 something, you're just like, whoa.
But you know what you're getting.
But it's a quality boot, dude. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's like when the sole gets worn out, I take it to them, or I take it to, Poncho's, a shoe place, and he puts on the sole and resoles them, and I'm good to go again and everything, So it's like, or send them back to Red Wing and pay definitely a lot more because of the shipping and all this stuff. But, you could get these soles. Vibram soles now are, they're the company that just doesn't, it's just not stamped Red Wing on the bottom, but they make that sole. That's the sole. It just depends on, the brand or whatever. So it's like, I've got boots that have the Vibram sole, exact material, everything looks the same, nothing different. And then I've got some that I've sent out to Red Wing and had them put on, and it costed me like, maybe like $145 when I could have just taken them to some place here in El Sereno and paid the dude $65, $80 to resole my boots and everything. It's the same thing, and I don't have to wait a month to get my boots back. It's like, all right, cool, drop them off. A week later, I'm picking up my boots, and everything. So it's these companies know what's going on. At the end of the day, it's all about the bread, man.
Yeah,
it's all about money.
Speaking of boots, I'll talk about a partial sellout. Doc Martens.
Yeah.
They sold out and started making their stuff in China, and
you could tell by the sole.
You can tell by the quality.
The giveaway. Yeah.
Yep.
But they have a line. They have a specific product line that is still made in the original factory in England. And so when it came time, I have 2 pairs of Docs. I have one pair that my sister bought for me for my high school graduation from 1998 that I still rock. They're still fine.
Yeah.
And then I needed a pair of low tops. The boots that I had before, they were 8-eye. and I wanted a pair of loafers.
Yeah, the Gibsons. They used to call them the 3-eye Gibsons. I remember those. Yeah.
And so when it came time for that, I paid extra for that Made in England line.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to know where that shit was coming from.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not even wearing a whack imitation
China, because I've
Doc
seen
Martens. You know, it's like, no way. That's just I don't know. Some people could justify that. I can't, because I grew up in the 80s, so it was a privilege to have Made in England Doc Martens.
Yeah.
It sets you apart from everybody else. Like, no, these aren't just boots, man. They're Doc Martens.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, if I just wanted a pair of combat boots from this army surplus, you know, just a pair of $20 jungle boots from Vietnam. Okay. No, man, my boots set me apart, dude. My boots are part of a subculture, just like my Fred Perry's and stuff. You know, it's like when I'm rocking that gear, if I see somebody back then, if you saw somebody at Tower Records or at a gig, you were just like, you knew you were putting in the effort and stuff to stand out, so you didn't look like the average fucking teenager. It's like, okay, dude, you're rocking Le Tigre, whatever. I'm rocking Fred Perry's, man. You know, these are $40 shirts. Le Tigres are $12. Not to say that you were better, but yet that subculture that wore Le Tigre was cholos, was the homie type dudes and stuff, you know, or like your dads and grandpas.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I'm not part of that, dude. You know, I'm a mod. Yeah. You know, and my friends are rude boys, and they're into the skinhead scene and stuff, and we're into vintage scooters and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, we're on purposely setting ourselves apart from the norm, and you know, so yeah, I definitely get it. How when I see some of these, you know, people rocking the new Docs, dude's my age, and I'm like, oh, dude, you know, those aren't the real. I know, dude, but I just couldn't. I didn't want to spend, you know, for a real pair, and these will just do. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've seen the Made in China stuff in the store. I've tried them on.
Right off the bat, the sole is like see-through. It's like a trip.
It's not the same.
The leather's different. Yeah. Right.
It has a different feel.
Yeah, everything.
I know that Docs feel different once you break them in, but still, like, I know what a new Doc feels like. And when I tried it on, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I still got 2 pair original ones, man, and everything, you know, and it's just like, I don't know. But I guess if you're a family of 3 and you've got, say, 2 preteens and 1 teen, and they all want to wear them. I mean, I guess, it's, you got to bend, I guess, and everything. But again, I had friends that came, you know, 2 or 3 brothers and sisters, and they're, you know, they still made it happen. They were like, oh no, I got to have Docs. Like, you bought it, even if you put them on layaway and stuff, you know, it's like you weren't gonna. It's like rocking a imitation MA1 Alpha jacket and trying to say like, oh, my flight jacket's real. It's like, nah, dude, the real ones are Alpha Industry MA1 flight jackets, you know, like, and then I remember when that was a big trend when it came back again with the rave kids in the 90s. You started seeing the flight jackets, you know, pop up here and there, and you would starting to see them like at
hip hop started.
Hip hop. You would see them at like swap meets and stuff, and you're just like, oh, dude, that's crazy. Those aren't even like, they're making knockoff MA1 Alpha Industry. You know, and Alpha Industries they get the contracts for all the armed services and stuff. So it's just like,
you know, but
you know, that jacket's like $150, which I think they were like $89.99 back in like 1987, 88 and stuff. And now they're like probably $150, $165 or something, you know?
The cheapest I've seen them was $160.
Yeah. So, but but dude, there's nothing like them. They're the style, the fit of them, they're primo, man. It's like, it's, shit, I put on a brand spanking new one, and it's just like, you know, it's an Alpha jacket, man, and everything. I haven't seen a knockoff that even could get it 100%. You know, it's like, nope, Alpha Industries, man, that's the jacket.
And bomber jackets are making a comeback.
Bomber jackets. Well, that's an MA1.
Yeah.
That's so it's properly called MA1. That's MA1 bomber jacket.
Yeah,
but I started hearing the rave kids. Oh, it's a bomber jacket. It's like, oh, dude, it's a MA1, man. If you look at the original tag, it's MA1.
For my generation, that was hip hop. Hip hop heads called it, you know, bomber jacket.
Bomber jacket.
That's. And they're making a comeback. I got 3 of them now, and none of them are MA1. But it's.
And my dad's a Vietnam vet, so I remember him just like, I was like, I need a jacket like this, and he's like, oh, that's an MA1. And I remember going to the Army surplus, and bam, there they were, Alpha Industries, and it's just, and my dad saying something like, wow, Alpha still makes these, and they're like, yeah, they've got the contract, man.
Yeah.
And Air Force, they were Air Force wore them.
Yeah.
And that was before they started adding the different colors. There was no oxblood burgundy one. There wasn't a blue one. It was just green or black. That was it, man. Now you could get it like in silver, tan. I think they do one in a camo now and stuff. You know, it's just like, whoa, man. Like they've made it that crossover into like fashion, I guess, which is cool. You know, and everything. It's still keeping it out there, you know, and everything. But and hip hop people are, you know, they rock them and stuff. And it's not just a subculture of the skinheads or the mods or anything like that. You know, and I see a lot of armed, you know, police officers who rock them now. And
they get
stuff.
discounts.
The black ones,
yeah. Law enforcement get discounts.
Law enforcement ones, they wear black ones with, you know, custom embroidery on them and stuff. But it's just like, oh, that's an alpha and stuff, you know. Real brass zippers.
Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad. He wore an MA1.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was tripped out on him.
But black one, law enforcement with the orange lining.
Yeah, orange lining. Yeah. Well, I think that's what they always just had.
They all had the orange lining.
Yeah.
So I have a green with black lining. I have the traditional green with the orange lining, and I have a blue with the orange lining.
Yeah.
And
I got my black one and my green one still. My green one's with all my Vespa patches, and then my black one just has like I think a Madness and a Specials button on it.
I know they exist, but I have not been able to find an MA1 in my size.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sure you'd have to just online or something.
It was double XL, I think, because that was the one I had was the biggest one, and they're not tall guy friendly.
No, they're
traditionally
they're not.
Yeah, they're Eisenhower
I always
cut.
hated because
right at the waist,
and it'd be above my belly button. I always had to sit down for it to look right. Standing up, it just looked like Baby Huey on me. I hated it.
The one that I have that's black lined, it's more modern style, like it's thinner and it's longer. But then the other two that I have, they're traditional, the Eisenhower cut up here on the waist. I like them. It's just, it's hard to find them in my size for the MA1.
Yeah.
So I have knockoffs, but they fit the same. But I know they probably don't feel the same.
Yeah.
And they're good enough. Like, I'm glad that the style came back because I liked bomber jackets when I was younger. And
I've never stopped wearing them since, I think I got my first one about 87 or 88 and it was used.
Yeah.
You know, I literally remember getting a used one and it had cigarette holes in it and stuff, you know, but I didn't care, dude. It was just like, I remember putting my Who patch on there, my buttons and like, you know, oh, hell yeah, getting my Vespa. It was just like, this is it. And that was like your daily. Yeah. It was either that or a Levi jacket and everything. And then you had your parka and you're like, okay, that's, you know, when it gets really cold and stuff, but you could wear your flight year round.
Yeah.
You know, year round. It was like your year round jacket that literally set you apart. Like, and it would just, it just wasn't a jacket that everybody wore until like the rave thing kicked off. And when I was out of high school, about 94, I guess 95, I was dating a girl at that point and she was like a senior in high school. And I was maybe 2-3 years out of high school and she had one. And I was like, whoa, you got an MA1? And she was just like, oh, it's just my bomber jacket. Is that what you're talking about? I'm like,
bomber jacket.
Yeah. And I remember all her girlfriends showing up and they all had black ones. Like they didn't touch green. Black was the color. And they would rock them with their white Levi's and they had Doc boots. And I'm like, oh, you guys, you're literally, your style is literally like going to my high school years of the mod and ska and the Rude Boys and stuff. And she was like, what? You know, she just, to them, I don't know. It just kicked off and they were rocking like the Rebels. All of a sudden it was like, she had friends that were like, oh, they're Rebels. I'm like, Rebels? What the fuck is, they look like they were rocking like Harley Davidson belts and belt buckles and engineer boots and stuff. I'm like, dude, they look like little baby rockabilly dudes and stuff. She's like, rockabilly. But yet they dress like that 50s style, yet they're wearing an MA1 flight jacket, but they're listening to Maná. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is Maná, dude? I never heard of rock en español, So I'm just like, she's like, it's rock en español. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. It was just like that gap, that 3-year gap of leaving high school to all of a sudden, what is this stuff? And they were into it. It was like, that was their scene, And I remember going to parties and it was just like, that was when the Rebel Cruise thing and the backyard boxing matches and all this kind of stuff. And just, I was like maybe 3-4 years older and it just seems so different. I was like, wow, this is a backyard party now. Crazy. And listening to this, you would hear the Smiths and you're like, dude, they like the Smiths? Like, what a trip. What is it? Oh yeah, Rebels. Rebels like the Smiths. They like Morrissey. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, man, I'm lost on this thing.
I thought that was hilarious when I was in high school because I remember from my sister and from this dude. And so when I got to high school and I started meeting people that were into Morrissey and they wore the bomber jackets and they had Docs and I'm like, huh, okay. I get it. But it came back. It had a big resurgence in the 90s, Docs and bomber
Absolutely.
jackets. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it was definitely the Latino kids, man.
Yeah,
you know, it was like it became like their look and stuff. It was definitely
and
their
Morrissey.
look.
What is it with all the Latino kids that love Morrissey?
Yeah.
They all love that dude.
Yeah, I just was like, Morrissey's cool, man, but I thought the Smiths were cooler, you know? And be like, the Smiths, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, Stephen Morrissey had a band called the Smiths, dude, before he was a solo artist.
Yeah.
And they only seem to know like one or two songs of his song. And I'm just like, well, no, man, there's like way more material that he did with Johnny Marr, you know? And they're just like, who? And I'm like, dude, Johnny Marr, you know, like fucking phenomenal guitarist and everything. And, you know, Rickenbacker guitars. And nah, they weren't about it. To them, it was like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, Morrissey.
No, that's when you gotta like
Suede Head. That's the only song you seem to know. Suede Head. You're just like,
oh yeah, dog, the
I'm so sorry song.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
You're just like,
every Mexican theme song. Yeah, because like I'm so sorry because I pissed off my hyena. That's my song. That's our song.
Yeah, and what was it? Berlin. I want Metro.
The Metro.
You're just like, okay. There's so many other
Rebels,
songs. Yeah, that's
my God.
They literally claimed it. They ran with it, which was cool because it kept Morrissey's name literally alive.
If anything, it helped.
Yeah, it helped. I mean, he was, dude, he went from...
He was huge.
Mega. It just was like, so after a while, you're just like, oh, wow, man, this is a whole different subculture now.
All the Mexican foods that were there at fucking Coachella. When I went with Sherry to see, Morrissey was playing at Coachella that one year.
I remember that, yeah.
And we went
backstage when that happened.
We went and all the Mexican fools that were there to see Morrissey. I'm like, I went to school with all you fuckers.
Yeah, talking shit. Now you're right here with me.
Yeah, it's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Well, back then, what I find funny is like now I appreciate it. Back then, and when I was in high school, I was just strictly into hip hop.
Yeah.
Like Morrissey, I was like, that's the shit my sister listens to.
Yeah.
Like Morrissey, what the fuck? Now I appreciate it more, but that's why it's so funny to me to see these fools like.
Yeah.
Morrissey?
Yeah, and then it turned into, I guess, like more into then it rolled into the rockabilly and the cholo-billy thing, and all the tough guy. All of a sudden, it was just like, dude, you're all inked up, but you don't even got a car, dude.
Yeah.
But I just was like, all right, whatever.
Get him started.
Yeah, and fucking, I got a car. What'd you get? I got a 4-door. You're like, a 4-door Packard or some the fuck, dude? That car wasn't even cool in the 50s. Like, I can't even tell you it's cool now, dude, and everything. Like, hey, Christian, do you think you find me some hubcaps? I'm like,
no,
for that? It's like, dude, why didn't you run it by me? You should have asked me. I would have pointed you in the right direction, man.
Yeah.
Cadillac, Buick, Pontiac, Chevy, Ford. Fuck, are you rolling a Packard or a DeSoto, man?
Well, what's funny?
Oh, I got it for a deal. Yeah, they saw you coming.
Give it away,
dude.
of course.
What's funny though, like nowadays, pretty much anything pre 73 that you don't have to smog is fucking gold. Like,
wow.
Like it's rusted, it doesn't run. Bring a trailer at $10,000.
Jeez.
Like that's the norm now. But I understand the humor in it. Like the Packard, like fucking what? You want hubcaps for that?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get it running and stuff, and then it's like, all right, let me go over there and see what you went and bought, and you're just like, dude, it's an inline 8. The car was whack back then, and you think you could find some speed equipment? It's just like,
just LS swap it,
dude. They weren't even doing LS swaps back then. It was 350 350s. Then I would say that just get a 350 combo and stuff.
Yeah.
But even then, you're gonna have to fab up stuff because this is not a highly sought after car. So they don't make motor mounts for this. They're not making transmission. This and that. Well, I want to airbag it. Okay, man.
I hope you know how to weld.
You're talking about a car that's worth $13,000 on its best day with original paint, every single part still there. Yet yours is nowhere near that. Dude, you got cancer. It's in fucking, but yet they're so determined to put it in black primer. Oh, I want to put some black primer and put some fucking dice and a Frankenstein and pinstriping. You're just like, dude, you're talking about this look, but yet fucking car doesn't even run.
Yeah.
And everything, So it was just so, I don't know, man. Mid 90s, just saw some whack stuff. And then people are like, I need to unload it. Yeah, I got my chick pregnant. Well,
good luck.
What do you think it's worth, Christian? I'm like,
$4,000.
Dude, I'd be more like $2,000. Like, dude, it's like $2,000, dude. I mean, it's junk, dude. There's nothing on it that's like somebody wants. It's not like you could part it out. You bought a lame car.
Yeah.
You know, had it been a 50 shoebox Ford, it'd be like, yeah, dude, you could part it out if you need to, you know, like, you know, the deck lid, the hood, whatever, stuff like that, the flathead. Yeah. If there's speed equipment on there, killer. Cool. Yeah, you make some money back and everything if somebody's not going to want to take the whole car and stuff. But yeah, no, then and you see these people, they end up getting rid of the thing, and down the road, I like getting another old car. But you know what, dude? Come at me when you got 20K, dude, because at this point, the cars, they've gone up so much more now in value.
It's crazy, dude.
You know, and they're like, I'm thinking about getting a 51 Mercury. Really? Wow, okay, cool.
Hope you got 50 grand.
Yeah, I mean, I sold mine for 34 grand, you know, and everything, and it was a beautiful car.
Yeah.
And, but they're just like, wait, how much they go for? I'm like, dude, those days of 15K, 20K.
Long gone.
Gone, dude. Yeah. It's not 1995 anymore, man. Yeah. You know, this is what they go for.
Yeah.
You know, and then, I guess everything, man. Everything is just, some people get it, some people just don't get it. And if you say something when you're not trying to put them down, but you're just trying to like put them on the right path, all of a sudden,
he's offended.
Offended. He's a dick. You know, I thought it was like, no, dude. It's just, I'm telling you.
What's the word that the kids use now? Gatekeeper. He's gatekeeping.
Really? Oh, I don't know that.
That's new to me.
Really? Yeah, I haven't heard that.
That's like, so
a gatekeeper. Wow.
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
I hear that a lot on RC forums. I'm really big into RC cars, right?
Okay.
And so young people that are just getting into the hobby, they'll throw a message out, right, asking for advice on this car that they bought. And so if those that don't know, like Traxxas is like the iPhone of RC cars.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people hate on Traxxas because it's very proprietary, but it's set up for the non-RC person. You can know shit about RC cars and go buy a Traxxas setup and be cool, right? That's how they
user friendly or whatever.
But you're gonna pay for it. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So a lot of older school fools like me, we hate on Traxxas, you know, because it's like. The beauty of it is, you know, I don't like ready to run stuff anyway. I like to buy the kits, build them up, you know.
Tamiya.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's just my generation. But people will post about a Traxxas and other older school guys like me will like talk shit about it. And they'll be like, "Oh, you're just gatekeeping. You're trying to keep me out of the hobby, blah blah blah. You're being a gatekeeper." Blah,
no,
blah,
definitely
blah.
I wouldn't be that.
Yeah.
I'm always down to like show somebody, but some people always seem to they know everything, and when they do that, you're like, all right, I'm out, dude. You know everything. Cool. And that's from photography to, you know, music to the cars to the artwork type stuff. It's just like, no, you don't want to learn. Like, because you got 50 likes, you think you know everything, and I'm just like, man, all right, dude, you're on your own.
That's what kills me. Is like, if you try to give somebody legitimate help, like somebody said that they were looking to buy this, and I'm like, no, don't buy that, buy this. And then they get pissed and like, oh, you're gatekeeping. Why are you being like that?
You know what? I look at it as, you know, coming up, there was no internet.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was getting into tattoos, man, there was no book, there was no online, there was no YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I remember phically having to go to shops.
I remember that.
You know, and everything.
And I'd be like, that guy
and I would just ask questions. That was at
it was right over here in Bassett.
Geez, on Valley. That was Fat George. Fat George's tattoo shop right there on Bassett on Valley Boulevard.
We were just lingering, taking inventory.
And I would go in there and I would see how they set up the guns, you know, and stuff, because a lot of the guys didn't want to show you. And everything. Now, if you want to get into it, dude, you could YouTube it. There's books on how to set up tattoo guns, how to become a tattoo artist, how to practice. Fuck, it wasn't like that, dude, in the late 80s. It was like you have to go in there and show your face, and if they took a liking to you, maybe they'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't, or they would tell you want to apprentice. Well, I remember a guy telling me, he's like, give me $5,000 and I'll show you everything you need to know. Yeah. Other guys telling you, oh well, you got to sign your 2-year contract, and I'm like, contract? Like, damn, dude. Like, you know, you have, once we show you, you got to be here for 2 years and stuff. And then I would hear other people tell me, yeah, but they're gonna treat you like shit and everything. And I'm like, well, fuck that, dude. I don't like being talked down to, first of all. So that's not going to work for me, you know, and everything. And some guys telling me, go do this, go do that, like you're a fucking punk. Hell no. That ain't going to work, dude, because I don't jive like that. It's like, no, I'm out. I'll learn this on my own. Yeah. And that's what I did, dude. It was like, all right, I remember going to the tattoo convention. I remember selling my airbrush equipment and going to, what was it? It was at the Palladium, man.
I remember that one. We ran into Ian Asper.
It wasn't Tattoo Mania. It was, Inkslinger's Ball, they called it.
Inkslinger's Ball, yep.
And I remember going there, and with cash in my hand and buying a professional tattoo gun. Money, dude. Back then it was like there was mail order and this and that. There was companies on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I remember just like asking people and they're like, yeah, I'll sell you a gun. Bitching. Boom. I remember dropping $300 to buy a gun, Jack Armstrong gun and everything, which I guess the guy was a major legend back then and everything, and bought a gun from him. Remembered how I, made my little notes on how to set up a needle and all this stuff, and then getting a catalog called from Dermographics. It was a company that sold like the needles and it sold prepackaged stuff, So I was like, no autoclave, none of that. Just like, hey, the needle's already made. No having to like learn how to solder and do the jigs. Okay, boom, started buying it and started having to go at it, dude. Because I always thought like, well, shit, my equipment's now professional equipment. It's now 10 times better than some homeboy who's just got a little guitar string and a tape recorder. Yeah, and everything. And India ink. Like I got real I got I got Pelican ink now and stuff. I got like legit stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I had to go, just had to go at it. But now anything you want to get into, you could learn on YouTube. It's there and stuff. It's like, oh, you want to learn how to weld? Bam. There's dudes out there willing to show you on their YouTube channels and stuff. But when I came up, there was nobody showing you. So I always said, man, whenever I learn something, if somebody wants to know, fuck yeah, come over, dude. I'll show you. I've showed so many people how to silk screen and start their own t-shirt companies. Take notes. What do I owe you, Christian? Because it's not, they got to go to Pasadena City College and take a class. And that's going to take months. Nah, hell no. Boom, I'm showing you. You go here. Yeah. This is where you get your screens burned. Screen Depot. Go see Chang. Bam. Get there in the morning. He'll, take your artwork. What's camera ready artwork? Bam. This is what it is. All right. Go. Dude, within a week, they've got a t-shirt and it's on Instagram and they're hustling it. They're making money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've just showed you how to make money, dude. And everything. What do I owe you, Christian? Nothing, dude. Just buy me breakfast, whatever. And then there's some cats that I've showed that fucking completely act like they don't even know me. Like some of their stuff has taken off enough where it's just like, they literally don't even give me the credit. Like, yo, dude, Christian showed me this. He told me to come to his pad, walked me through it, made me a list of all the gear to buy. Here, you're set up. You're good to go. And it's like, all right, cool. I don't trip on it, but I just like, wow, man, motherfucker.
Yeah.
A chick just did that to me not too long ago who has a little motorcycle thing going. Boom. She came with a little drawing. She wanted me to do the drawing. And I was like, dude, I know you, but I'm pretty busy. Like, and she came up with some idea. I kind of like, all right, well, I would do this, refined it, kept telling her how to approach it and everything. Do it as an illustration and stuff. You have too much detail and stuff. And it's like, if it's going to be a t-shirt, and a single color ink, you want it to be more like, I kept trying to tell her, like a rubber stamp and everything. Just somebody sees it, they get it. Not all like, she's putting in all these little fine lines and stuff. So, okay, she does it and everything. She comes to my pad, uses my equipment. I run them. I show her how to do one. Cool. We did like 6 t-shirts. I had to go. I couldn't be there all day with her and stuff. She posts it. Boom. She's getting all these likes, and now nowhere in that post did she say, because Stilo 1971 showed me, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, fucking cunt, man, trip out. And now she's working with different artists. Her t-shirt is now selling. It's like she's making a little bit of bread. And it's like, wow. And people are like jock her fucking because she's a female motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
That now it's like, I've seen chicks rocking that gear. And I'm like, dude, I'm the one who I set her up, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. She's still on my accounts. Well, I mean, those accounts that got, they no longer exist. But I mean, as of like a couple of weeks ago, the chick was in Italy.
Maybe she
and I'm just like, oh yeah,
reported you.
Yeah. She was on a nice vacation, and now she's all part of the female chopper scene. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. And that's when I said, I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I've known this broad for years, dude. Again, I said broad. I say chick. Okay.
Female woman.
Yeah. All bad nowadays. But yeah, I was just like, damn.
Bitch. Yeah. Is it they, them?
Yeah, they, them,
Fuck,
he, she, her. Man, sorry again. Kind of, I'm not sorry. That's
sorry,
just how I talk,
that's
man.
That's the other word, dude. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Whatever the fuck that means.
But yeah, so when that went down, I was just like, dude, trip out. Yet some other dude that would run her next batch of t-shirts of another design, full on had his fucking tag on there and everything. And I'm just like, That's a trip, dude. I've known this chick probably 20 years.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Well, see, what happened is he probably broke her off. You didn't break her off. So you'd be holding out on the dick.
Jump on grenades, dude.
Oh, okay. I get it. See? She was expecting a piece. You didn't break her off.
No, the problem is it's a
yeah.
I have the same issue when people talk to me about like entrepreneurship, starting your own business, stuff like that. I have a problem that if you listen to stories from my dad, my grandpa had the same problem, apparently, where I don't like charging people for things. And so it's like, if you want my help with something, I'll just go help you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to like, oh, you want this and
you
that. You want to set this up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to cost you $150. You know, like I don't mentally like can't wrap my head around it, and I don't do that. And so I don't have that entrepreneur mentality. Like, I have a service to provide. I'm going to charge you.
Yeah. To me, it's just like share the knowledge.
Yeah. Just
like, oh, dude, you're into what I'm into. Rad.
Yeah,
Who knows what's going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
if something takes off, you know who was there with you. And then, they're the ones you bring along with you and stuff and everything. But like, that's just like our famous bud that would go on to do the murals.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
Another one years ago showing him silk screening and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he decides, oh, well, I'm going to take the class at PCC. Dude, why? Like, I already showed you everything that, oh no. But yeah, he gives the art department at PCC all this credit. And the dude blew up. He's doing murals. He's traveled. He's done this and that and everything. And it's just like, fucking hater, dude. It's just like, dude, you were just some dude from Temple City fucking cruising on your parents' money.
Yeah.
Trust fund kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We thought he was cool. Ran into him at an intersection. Hey, you got a Vespa, bitchin', dude. Roll with us. We got Vespas. You just, hey, it's somebody like us. That's, like we got to find out who this person is and stuff. But yet, as he blew up, he never even once plugged anybody in. Like, hey, dudes, roll with me to this event. Or, hey, you know what? I got some extra work. Float. Nothing. All of a sudden, it was just like if he was self-made. It's like, motherfucker, you weren't self-made. I mean, you got a talent, and you obviously found people that have taken you to this next level. But yet, dude, you should be bringing all your true original buds, with you.
The people that helped you.
Yeah.
So it's like don't forget where you come from. Don't fuck the people. Don't step on people. Like.
Yeah.
And it's just that.
I don't get that, dude. I was never like that. I had an art school teacher in high school, and Mr. Richard White, awesome guy, and he would always say, art it's you got to share art, man, and everything. If you know how to shade something, and somebody wants to learn, you just show them. Yeah. Dude, they're not going to take money out of your pocket.
No.
What they're doing is different. They're a different person completely. So it's like me showing somebody the silk screen. I don't sit there and say, oh well, because I do have Chola's Rock and I do all these other silk screen T-shirts and stuff. That person's now going to take my money away. No, dude, because that's somebody who's doing silk screening with their design.
Yeah.
Their design might be a completely different thing that they're into. I'm just more stoked. Dude, get it out there. Like, cool. It's a good little hustle. It's like it brings in cash. Sometimes it's like you get it, like I said, an order from Japan and you're just like, wow, bitching. That was $2,000 I didn't even have, So it's like, yesterday doing a drop off at what is it? Oh God. The shop. What is it? Lords of Uptown in Uptown Whittier in the morning hit me up, wanted to do, restock some gear. Hell yeah. I was fortunate. I still had quite a few items. So drove them down there and it wasn't even a consignment deal, dude. The owner, Richie, he just like, boom, let me pay you out now. Hell yeah. He posts it on Instagram, tags me the Chola's Rock account. Then it's retagged. And it's cats in Nebraska. It's people in Mexico. And I'm like, yeah, dude, and it's for a while I've been honestly just lagging on it, just kind of, get a few sales here and there kind of thing. And, this morning he's just like, dude, I've already blew through, this morning. It was just like, I already blew through 8 shirts, man. I'm like, hell yeah, sweet, cool. Like that's cool. And it's just, for me, I'm just stoked that it's something I created that's out there. It's like you still feel relevant to the art world. Like I've always enjoyed that, walking into an art show and somebody saying, "Oh, hey, Mr. Chola's Rock," and it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, that's cool, man, that's me. Yeah, or being at a concert and it's like, hey, hold on, let me get your picture. I created that, and they're like, what? Are you serious? And then sure enough, I show them and like, where did you get the T-shirt? It was a gift. oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. My aunt bought it from me. Let's get it. And they asked me, let me get a picture so I can send it to my aunt that bought me the t-shirt. And it's like, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm stoked on that and everything.
I would have asked, going back to our conversation at lunchtime, I would have asked that person who got that shirt from a thrift store.
Yeah.
What did you pay for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Because I've been everybody's been in a thrift shop.
It's like you're buying a used Cholas Rock t-shirt at a thrift store. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes they get stupid with it, right? Like everybody's been in thrift shops. It depends on which one you go to.
Some of them know what they got.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, this is vintage. Blah,
it's
blah,
a boutique
blah.
item.
Yeah, $70, dude. You want it?
Yeah.
So I would like if it was something that I created and I saw it and they're like, yeah, I got it at a thrift store in Whittier. I'd be like, what'd you pay?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Did they know what they had?
Yeah.
Was it not the 50-cent t-shirt? Was it a $10 shirt?
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, like I said, that was just really like, you know. And it was funny because every now and then I'll look up the hashtag Cholas Rock and just see if somebody out there who doesn't know that there's an actual Cholas Rock account, and they just happen to put it, and I was like, oh yeah, no way, hey, you know. Then I contact them like, hey, you know, and through the Cholas Rock account, like, cool, you know, I like your picture, blah blah blah. Welcome to Cholas Rock or something, Instagram. Thanks for rocking the gear and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, crazy. You know, can I buy some stickers? Yeah, for sure. Boom, you know, and stickers. And what else do you got? Hoodies, tote bags, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, I guess that part of social media has always been cool. But when I approached it, it was, like I said, I always just thought it was shits and giggles, man. Everything, you know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to find my future wife on Instagram, you know. And
I mean, even though I met my wife online, not on social media, but on the internet. But I still 100% feel like social media is just for shits and grins.
Yeah.
Or self-promotion. Mm-hmm. It's a great tool for promotion.
Absolutely.
If you're not promoting yourself, it is just for shits and grins. And people that take it too serious, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like mental breakdowns of they didn't likes and stuff. You're just like, wow, you know. And now it's you know, more and more people say, oh well, you know, I don't go on Instagram. I'm all about TikTok, and I'm just like,
I can't get into TikTok.
You know,
I don't have that, and I just don't see myself adding.
I have
adding that, you know.
Former coworker, he left us for greener pastures in Texas. I wish I could join him, but anyways. He kind of started getting me into TikTok a little bit. I just can't. I can't.
It's too draining. Like I've entertained the versions of it on Instagram, and I find myself like a zombie, just all like, swipe to the next, swipe to the next. I'm like, okay, enough. I've spent 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, enough of this staring at this shit. This is what they want. I fucking hate that about cell phone technology and all that social media, just drawing you in.
That's what got me into it a little bit.
Hate it
because I did the same shit right with Instagram, the shorts. And he's like, hey, if it's an Instagram short, it was a TikTok. That's where it comes from.
Exactly.
And I'm like, really?
Exactly. That's what I know. I know that. That's why I refuse TikTok, because now you got it on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
So what do I need a fucking TikTok?
Yeah. So I don't know. I look at it sometimes. Some of it's funny.
Sure, I get caught up in it, but I hate the fact that it just draws you in, and it's just draining society, and I fucking hate it.
The issue with me is like, so I'll see one that's really funny. So I'll flick through like 20 trying to find another funny one, right? And before you know it, like you said, it's like you're 20 minutes into it.
Half an hour,
and you're like, fuck, where'd my life go? Like, fuck this app, you know, and you just close it. Like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of like abstain from TikToks.
Yeah, you find yourself realizing like, this is a fucking waste.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So I just haven't seen anything that grabs me enough to be like, oh yeah, I need to spend time.
I'm in it for the funnies. Like the shit that's funny is funny. Is exactly that. It's something to look at while I'm taking a shit. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things, dude. Like it just sucks. It's a time suck.
Yeah.
It'll take your life away before you know it. I'd rather spend that time playing video games or something. Like waste my time when my kids aren't home playing video games, not looking at TikTok.
Right.
Like at least video games, I get something out of it.
Right. I have to spend more quality time looking at naked girls on Chatterbait and OnlyFans. What?
Oh, Chatterbait. I don't know about OnlyFans. You gotta pay for that shit, dude.
Right. There's a bunch of free ones. Yeah. But then there's cheap ones, like $3 ones. All right, I'll entertain that.
I'm that weird generation with when the internet came, that ended the time when I paid for porn.
Yeah.
I don't pay for that shit anymore. You don't have to. It's dumb if you pay for it now. There's so much free shit out there.
Never once paid for porn. That's just
DVD back in the 90s. I think so myself.
There's so much free shit out there now. If you pay for it, you're not trying hard enough.
Jeez. Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right, we're over an hour. We can stop.
Cool.
You guys got anything you want to add? You
No,
good?
man. Peace,
it was
rock
a good
and roll.
One. Like always, when Christian comes to the cave, this was a good one.
Right?
This wasn't work at all. This was just straight entertainment.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Good night.
Later.